Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox One community.
Boom! We're there. Good.
This is podcast number 119. 119.
Ooh, that number feels good.
Yes, it does. 119 episodes of pure, unadulterated bliss.
That is just a glorious number.
That it is. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First and foremost, it is Mr. McSpicy, the man with the tan.
Do I have a tan now? Usually
You do, yes.
Usually
a little bit. There's a nice little glow.
pale.
You either have a tan or you're pregnant. There's a glow about you.
All right. Well, I'll take the former.
Okay. The latter.
No, I'm not pregnant.
No, ladder is the second one.
Yeah, you said either I have a tan or I'm pregnant.
Oh,
Thanks, guys. Don't confuse me.
All
I'm
right.
not pregnant.
All right.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm good to go.
Second, he's enjoying life because he's got a house all to himself. It's Jordan the man, Jordan Paskett.
hello.
Jordan, what is the best thing that happened to you this week? Best thing. Go.
Oh, I don't know.
You never know.
Do you not know this question's coming? We've been doing it for like 90 episodes.
It's the last couple
119
weeks, I just had a-
episodes.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. How is Pokemon Go going for you? Or have
I
you
actually
given
haven't-
up on it?
I haven't played it really this week. So
I have 21 Pokemon in my Pokedex.
Well, because you cheat, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, I really only did that yesterday. I went from like 6 to 21 in one day. It was glorious.
And I don't even know what that means because I don't play that game.
Yeah, last but not least, I'm X1. We're the XoneBros. I would like to explain how I do this. So, I work at a university. How Pokemon Go works for all of the rabid Pokemon fans out there.
Go, Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go fans, or
Yeah.
all the fans that haven't yet played Pokemon Go. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying.
Explain it to me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you explain it to me.
Basically, what happens is really popular sites, so college campuses,
Okay.
have tons of gyms, Pokestops, where Pokestops is basically the pay-to-win style. Like, you either go to a Pokestop and spin, or you can buy items.
No.
You can win the items or buy the items.
well,
Correct?
yeah, you can win the items, but it's not. You can't really buy anything to help you. You
I've-
can buy. It's not pay to win.
You can no,
Yeah.
it's not pay-to-win. But what I'm saying is you can either go to the Pokestops or you can go to the shop and pay for these things.
Yeah, certain things.
So, I work on a college campus, and my office is in the heart of the college campus. And from my desk in my office, I have access to 3 Pokestops, 2 gyms, and every 3 or 4 minutes, about 4 Pokemon show up on my screen. So literally, all I was doing yesterday, sitting there, my phone was on, plugged in, because that thing kills your battery, and it would every time it vibrates, oh, boop, catch, oh, boop, catch, oh, spin a Pokestop, oh, got some eggs. I got a bunch of eggs now, tons of eggs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
I'm rocking that game because I'm lucky.
rocking it on the clock.
On the clock. I'm getting paid to play some Pokemon.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Jordan, you kicked David out this week, didn't you?
Yes.
That was a good thing.
Oh yeah, I have officially moved into my house, everyone. So I will be able to. I'll be able to play games again this week, hopefully.
Oh, that's gonna be so nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Whenever you have like a game drought and then just jump right in, it's a good feeling.
Oh yeah, and this is a man-made game drought
Oh, because you moved.
because I moved.
Yeah.
By choice. So there you go.
Yeah, and you had to do everything,
Yeah.
which because your wife's expecting. So
She is expecting. Oh, I don't think the community knows.
should
that.
I have said that?
You should have. I just have forgotten to mention that.
David's wife's expecting. So
Yes,
woohoo!
and we think it's mine.
So pretty exciting stuff.
Anyways,
new house, new kid. Woo!
Absolutely. We got new monthly Patreon drops. The new games for this month, NBA 2K17. Your choice if you win. If
Let's explain it. Let's explain.
Go ahead. Explain Patreon.
Patreon is a way to support our show. You can go to Patreon, and then you can donate what you feel the show is worth. It's a great way. We appreciate it. Makes us feel good, and it's a great way to grow the community. We have forums. We have a website. We have a whole bunch of stuff that is because of Patreon donators.
Absolutely.
This way, what we do every month is basically it's a giveaway to give back to our Patreon subscribers. And the more you donate, the more chances you're going to get by getting a drop.
The more you up your RNG.
Yeah, that's what we consider it RNG. You're going to get a drop, and you can choose what the drop is.
So we've got
If you win.
common drops, uncommon drops, rare drops, legendary drops, and exotic drops.
Yes.
Depending on how much you choose to donate to our cause, head over to XoneBros. Oh wait, patreon.com/X1Bros. Or just go to X1Bros.com and hit the support the show.
button. Yeah.
Anyways,
If
so
you win, you get a choice of 3 games. We do this once a month, and the games
this
are
month's games are NBA 2K17, Madden 17, or Forza Horizon 3. All AAA games, all games full of a bunch of badassery
Nice.
and good times.
I would. You know what game I would choose?
Forza Horizon 3. Jordan, what would you choose?
Probably Forza Horizon 3. That one does look really fun.
That does look really fun.
And you would do Madden,
I would
right?
do Madden or NBA 2K. Both.
Okay.
Both very, very good games. Anyways, go check it out. Thank you, everyone. On that note, because of Patreon, we are, and our support that we get, we are trying to stream more often, so you can see us almost every night over on twitch.tv/X1Bros. That's twitch.tv/X1Bros. McSpicy has really been pulling the red eye shifts on the Twitch streaming schedule this week.
Well, you know what's doing it? Red Dead Redemption.
Amen, brother.
I mean, 2 nights ago, because we didn't do it last night because we did the couch cast.
Sure.
2 nights ago, I went cow tipping and I played skunk soccer.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
It's a great game.
That is a great game. That is. And and every Thursday we have a couch cast. How'd the couch cast go, guys?
The cast went great. We first tried Overwatch because we hadn't played that in a while.
Sure.
And it was me and Jordan because David was still tidying up his home.
I still am.
He still is. So the couch cast, for those new listeners, is every Thursday. Us 3, for the most part, except David wasn't there, get together, play a game on Twitch, and interact with the community. It's a really good time. This week, we started Overwatch, and we lost like every game we played. We didn't win one, did we? Me and Jordan.
No, we won one of them. Or was that just a round?
I think that was called a skirmish.
Oh. Oh, was that just?
That's one we didn't lose. When you don't lose, you win. In my
No,
book.
we won. Remember, we went through. What was it? It was a capture. Remember, because I ran to the corner
That's right. And
and
yeah,
I was like,
and we
"I'm
got
here,
it.
guys. I'm here."
Good job. Okay, so we won one game, but
Yeah.
we did terrible. So we're like, you know what? Let's play Halo Firefight.
Oh.
And because that's a fun time.
How far did you make it in the firefight?
Round 2 several times.
Yeah.
We did terrible.
Oh, man.
So we sucked at that, and then we're like, oh my gosh. All right, that's it. We're playing Resident Evil 5, something that we know we can't suck at. And we kind of did, but it's a good time.
That is a good time. That is a good
So
time.
we played 3 games on the couch
That
cast.
is. So if you haven't checked us out on Twitch, 1, you can watch the show live, and 2, you can keep up with us the rest of the week and watch us play games and play games together. It is a great time. It's a really good way for us to all get to know each other, whether you're in chat or you're listening to us or you're just creeping
Playing
on
Pokemon
us.
Go or doing whatever.
Yes. And on that note, next week we have a big announcement. We did a surprise behind-the-scenes test video of it this week. Everyone that has liked our show on Facebook, we will Facebook live stream starting next week. So the show will be Facebook live streamed, which means 2 things. Number 1, you can watch us live there. Mm-hmm. And number 2, you can watch us
Live there.
post show there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
as well as YouTube and other places. So there you go.
Woo.
And with that,
Yes.
let's get this show on the road. Jordan, what's happening or has happened in the world that is Xbox One this week?
A lot of news this week, actually.
Yes.
So.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit out of it this week.
Yes, you have.
So I'm excited
Good
to hear
reason.
I'm excited to hear the news.
So yeah, we got some good stuff. First thing, we have a Cast of the 7 Godsends Redux on pre-order, now available for digital pre-order and download on the
yes.
Xbox One. And check this out, Kerbal Space Program now available for Xbox One. This game is
Hey, yeah.
way fun. It
That
was on the
Steam,
PC. Yeah, it's on Steam. It's a super fun game. Now you can grab it
We
on the
played that
Xbox.
together, didn't we?
I don't know.
We played a lot of games together.
Yeah.
Let's just say we did.
I don't know, but yeah, that game is super fun. So be sure to check that one out. Also, the MX vs ATV Supercross, the one we talked about a little while ago, is
Yes.
now available.
I
for,
hold true to my initial thesis that the motorcycle would rock the ATV in a race.
And I hold to my end of the argument that it depends.
It's time to get this game and put our theories to the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you really want to open that can of worms now? You can't. Look, I think if you have a beefy machine on both sides of the spectrum,
Sure.
either machine has a chance.
I would agree with that. But I think anytime there's going to be any sort of turning, the motorcycle has a little bit of an advantage.
because it can't really drift like a.
it doesn't
No,
need
it
to
can do it
drift.
better.
Yeah, it can 360. Have you ever seen a guy
Yeah,
just
no,
sit there and spin his bike 360
I have,
degrees?
and I've seen ATVs sit there and spin around.
Yeah, but not as effectively or efficiently
Says you.
or with
No,
acceleration.
it's a pretty no. I'm gonna pull a video because I'm
Well,
gonna
it
show
depends.
you.
No, I've watched a lot of that stuff. I get it. The track has to be built for that, though.
True.
And if you have
Yeah,
a
but
track
it's
that's built for both,
It's a supercross course.
All right, we're going to get this game, and we're just going to put it to the test.
I mean,
And we can have people
I'm just
place.
saying.
We'll put this on a gambling site, and people can place bets.
okay.
Anyway, MX versus ATV Supercross Encore now available for the Xbox One. We also got World 2
Dude, we've got to get this game.
Hunting Boss. It's only $5.
Dude, look at that. These are the kind of bosses that you hunt
Well,
in this
that's
game.
awesome.
Only for $5. Is it co-op?
I don't know.
What's this game called?
The World 2
Hunting boss.
Hunting Boss.
Looks awesome. It looks like what is that game on the 3DS?
That game?
Monster
Hunter.
Yeah.
It looks
okay,
like
okay.
Monster Hunter.
So, but really cool. We also got Reversi
Quest.
Reversi Quest now available for Xbox One, and Fru now available for Xbox One, which
Fru.
is pretty cool. Also, Snooker Nation Championship 2016 now available in-game preview.
Hey, that game, that's
Xbox One.
what was that, billiards?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like billiards a lot. I used to play billiards on Yahoo Pool
Me too.
all the time.
I used to play
during the workday.
I used to play the snooker tables. You know how they have like the bumpers in the middle?
Yeah.
That's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I think those are built really well for PC because you like hit your keyboard, your space bar, or the mouse. You hold it down.
And
it's
this is Snooker Nation Championship
man.
2016
That's
in the
exciting.
game preview program.
Yeah, so it's
it's
not a full release yet. Yeah.
Game
okay.
preview, yeah. So we also got Rivals of Ether, as I think it's how it's pronounced, also in the game preview program.
just for the record, Snooker Nation is $5.99.
Okay, so Zeus Thunderpole, spicy, I love you, bro, but bikes are fast. Okay, I gotta say we didn't mention why I feel like an ATV can handle its own. I'm going to again.
Can I summarize it for you?
Go for it.
Okay. McSpicy has a father-in-law who soups up his ATV like a boss and flies that thing like a spaceship down the desert dunes on the sandy hills in Utah.
Yes.
The end.
Well, I have been riding motorcycles my whole life. I have. And I won't touch his bike, his ATV, because of how fast it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
It scares the living crap out of me. He's retoothed it, he's repiped it, he's redone every possible thing to it, and that thing is fast. So that's why I say, don't just throw ATVs out of the race,
Oh, no, I don't.
because I think ATVs, when tweaked, and a little tight in here,
Sure.
a little loose in there,
Sure, absolutely.
I think it'll go fast.
So Rivals of the Ether is a game preview as well. There's a lot of game previews.
We're just
coming
moving
out
on. We're
as of
moving on
lately.
with the stories. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rivals of the Ether.
A lot of it's an indie fighting game, but anyways, a lot of preview games coming out. I kind of like that. I like the preview program. Do you like the preview program? Do you like the concept of previews?
Not really.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like playing new games,
Sure.
but not broken new games.
Okay.
And I don't like paying
Fair
for
enough.
broken new games.
I don't mind paying it. Like for instance, was Snooker as a preview game, and it's only $5.99. I think that's completely acceptable. Rust, I paid $20 for.
well, see,
Maybe eventually that's a $50 game.
and you can say like, well, if we didn't have the preview, we wouldn't have Arc right now, which
Sure.
is huge right now on the Xbox One,
Sure.
even within our community. But like, I have purchased games like that just are broken, and then I feel like let's do DayZ as an example.
Oh, the
It's-
eternal.
The eternal game that never releases
Yeah.
because they got money for it
Sure.
too soon.
So I think it's good to do. Some companies do it correctly, and some clearly do not.
Yeah. So be
wary
Cat-
on the game previews.
yeah, be
I like that it's on Xbox, that we have that option, though, anyways. The Solus Project is now available for Xbox One. I have seen people stream this. This looks cool. It's almost like a walking simulator. But
and walking simulators are amazing.
time.
Just play Arma 3.
yeah. KYUB is now available for Xbox One, as is Pharaonic. There we go. I got it. Pharaonic. It looks like a pharaoh fighting game. Side-scrolling action RPG set in ancient Egypt.
Okay. What's Video Ball?
Video Vol is now available as well on the Xbox One. I have no idea what it is.
Well, it's available now on the Xbox One.
Yes. Yes. Dungeon Punks is also now available for digital pre-order and pre-download on the Xbox One. We also got a big game, WWE 2K17.
This is a really, really popular. Isn't this the one that's? Is this popular? This is the one we're doing for this month, right? For the games that we're releasing for the drop for the one of the 3 games, or is that NBA?
No, that's
2K,
NBA 2K17.
The 2K throws me off. This is wrestling, right?
Yeah,
This is a wrestling.
But
game.
WWE 2K16 was awesome. We only played a little while as one of our couch casts. 2K17 looks. I mean, if they improve on 2K16, that'll be a really good thing.
I'm just looking at the cover and I'm blown away by how Michael Bay it is.
Oh, dude.
It's amazing.
That is awesome. Absolutely. Anyways, WWE 2K17 is now available.
Nice.
For digital pre-order and pre-download on Xbox One. Song of the Deep is now available on Xbox One. This looks interesting to me. Do we know a price on this yet? This is one I want to get. It's very, it's like Ori with Echo combined.
Yeah, it's $14.99.
That is not a bad price. This looks really good. I am really interested in this game. It comes from Insomniac Games as well.
It looks really good.
Insomniac are the developers that did Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
So they've got that in their back pocket.
No, that looks really good. Did you say it's Echo? Like
It's like Echo,
Echo
from
the Dolphin?
Sega, remember?
Yeah, I remember that
Echo and Ori combined, I feel like. Just because it's underwater and you have a submarine. And the artwork looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous. I'm looking through the artwork right now, yeah.
On these games, these side-scrolling games, for instance, we just played Inside. Do you think Ori, so Child of Light, Ori, Inside, and now we have like this Song of the Deep type of thing. Rayman Legends is very much like that. Do you think sound is more important in these games or less important?
I think sound is always important. I know where you want me to go with this, but when you...
I don't want you, I just want you to give me your opinion.
I think sound is... Okay, so I do a lot of video production.
Sure.
And I stress to my clients, to everybody I do work for, that you can always use crappy footage with good audio.
Sure.
But you can't use crappy audio with good footage. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
if we
makes
have the
sense.
cut, audio
People are
is-
more forgiving on video than on audio.
Yeah, because you could stylize it. You can do it like in a weird way. But
Sure.
if you do not have good audio for the footage that you have, you can't use it.
Can't use anything.
But so audio, it's always underrated. I think it's like the underdog, but it's crucial to a good product.
Sure.
So why I'm saying that is, yes, I think you always need outstanding audio. You have crappy audio, you're not going to have.
Let me rephrase that
Okay.
question then. Music. Do you think music is more important in these games than in AAA games? Because
Yes.
the reason I say that is I would agree. I think it is because I was watching Unravel yesterday. Troubadour was streaming Unravel.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and the music was okay. It didn't really fit the feeling of what was going on, and it turned me off a little bit. It didn't make
Okay.
that game as immersive. Whereas Ori, Child of Light, Inside, super immersive because of that the music choice
and
the
how they use the
composition.
music. Like Inside didn't use a lot of music, but it used it in crucial times.
Yeah.
When it was pivotal, it immersed you more. No, yeah, I'm a huge sound
Whereas
guy.
let's take like a Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, I don't feel like music is as crucial because you can. I mean, as illustrated by the fact that you can choose any music to listen to at any time.
No, but like one of the greatest. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to you now convinced me to go back to you always need good music because
Okay.
in San Andreas,
Okay.
I still remember to this day how awesome it was to listen to John Williams running people over in the country in my like truck and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's fantastic. It is just
So
no
when-
Hank, not John Hank Williams, like an old country.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So when you're driving around in Grand Theft Auto, and a song comes on the radio that you're like, I don't really like.
no, you change it to like something that fits the mood, and that's why I like that. On the original Xbox, I played Vice City.
Sure.
And I had recorded, and I didn't realize this, but you could rip your CDs to the Xbox.
Sure.
You know, you can put it in the old days of the Xbox. You would put your CD in, rip it, and then you're like, oh, cool, I have a music library now on my Xbox. Well, I was playing Vice City, and one of the stations is your Xbox's library. So my music would come on, and it was it made the game so much better because of my own music inside that game. But let's go back to what you're saying. Some of my favorite games are the ones with the best audio soundtracks.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country 2 is one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2, recently released on the PC within the last 6 years or so. Those soundtracks are amazing, and that makes it without that soundtrack, that game wouldn't be what it is, no question. So, back to what you're saying, I think every game needs a good soundtrack. It's just
Maybe you
some
notice
games-
it more in
well, like-
platforms.
Well, in like AAA titles, you generally have good soundtracks, but like some let's take a Battlefield, let's take a Call of Duty, let's take a Titanfall. The audience doesn't care about music as much. They care more
Sound
about
effects.
sound effects and the competitive aspect of those
Sure,
games.
sure.
It's not a story there's not a lot of storytelling in multiplayer competitive stuff.
I see.
And I mean nothing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So when let's say when there's storytelling involved, then I think it's equally and crucial to have a great soundtrack. Sorry, I spoke so long.
And that brings us back. Song of the Deep is now out, so let's hope it has a good soundtrack. Song of the Deep now available on Xbox One. Ghostbusters is also now available on Xbox One. Jordan, would you like to talk about this game?
Yeah, I had to excuse myself for a minute, but I'm good now. So,
All right.
Did
Did you use my shower?
No.
No.
For the record, he's not feeling well. So
well, no, I'm feeling fine. Let me tell you what happened.
Oh,
So before
break it down.
before I came here, I hadn't eaten anything all day. So I had a big bowl of Captain Crunch, which, by the way, did you leave that at my house?
yeah, I think that's mine.
So I ate like half the bag,
Oh, that would make you feel sick.
and I just didn't feel good.
hey,
so I had
Captain
to-
Crunch is
You had to
good.
go puke.
I had to go through.
You went and threw up just barely?
Yeah.
Oh.
But don't worry, I cleaned it up for you.
Don't worry, it's
And
all
I
over
washed my hands. Yeah. Funny story. There's a picture of your wife on the floor next to the toilet. So
As I had my...
Oh no, that was on the back of one of do you know the picture frame that's in front of the toilet?
well, when I
Where
walked,
there's that
I
kid?
want you to know when I walked in there, it was there.
I know, I know it's there, but I'm gonna explain why
Okay,
it's there.
yeah.
You know that picture that's like in front of the toilet with that kid sitting down?
Sure.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it was behind that. It was
Oh, I
behind
see
that.
what you mean.
As all Jordan knows is as he was hugging that
Yeah.
toilet seat.
She was, and it was a
Holding
thumbs
on
up
for
picture.
dear life.
It was
She
like
was
yeah,
giving
yeah,
a
just
thumbs up at that.
it was like, go Jordan.
Yeah. Anyway,
Hey,
so
so
don't
you feel
eat-
better now.
Yeah,
So,
don't eat the
Jordan, just so you
Captain
know,
Crunch on.
Within my property, I have Easter eggs all over, and you've just found one
that's
of the
one of
Easter eggs.
Achievement unlocked.
So word of advice: don't eat 3 bowls of Captain Crunch.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is now available. Jordan, people are hammering this game.
Yeah, and on the Xbox Live Store, it only has 2 stars.
Oh, and,
Why? Here, let me.
and that's bad because there's some games that I really don't like on the Xbox Live Store that
there's
have like 4
there's
stars.
some games that really suck. No, let me check it right now just to make sure again. But yeah, when I was looking this morning, because I was excited for this one, because it kind of, despite what people say, I kind of like that. So let's take the new Ghostbusters movie. You know how it's kind of the art style of a haunted mansion.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Like
that
Luigi's
art style.
Mansion?
Yeah,
I would agree.
I like that art style. You know what I mean? So, but the game itself was kind of in that art style.
Well,
But you know, and
But it was like a Diablo.
yeah, and it was
top-down
Diablo.
dungeon
Yeah,
crawler with
4-player
Ghostbusters.
co-op, and it looked really fun. But yeah, from what I heard, who was it in chat yesterday that told us it was no good?
Well, and
I
it is
forget
getting
somebody, and
hammered
yeah,
by
it's just
critics.
it's just getting not good reviews. So it's really a shame. But yeah, when I looked this morning, it had 2 stars on Xbox Live on the marketplace, just people reviewing it. So,
Okay, well,
but if you want it, it's available now for Xbox One. So be sure to check that out. We also got Super Mutant Alien Assault now available for Xbox One, and Arnicute
Arnicute
is now
oh my
available
goodness.
for Xbox One.
This looks like what is the Sailor Moon type of
Sailor
style?
Moon.
Look at this.
Oh, that's
They're
funny.
so cute. What
Sailor Moon.
It'd be hilarious if you just like annihilate each other as these cute little stuffed animals.
Maybe that's what it is. $15.99 though, if you're interested in Articute. Be sure to check that one out. Moving on, the summer sale is over, but we do have new deals for this week.
Yes, we do.
So the big deals are Ghostbusters, the game we just talked about, and that's currently
we
getting
just
hammered.
hammered.
And I can't say anything about it because I've never played it.
Wait, so what's the
So-
discount on that?
The discount on Ghostbusters Ultimate Game and Movie Bundle. So what this is you get the game, you get I think like the original costumes, skin pack type of thing, and then you get a code for the DVD Blu-ray when it comes out. So it's the Ultimate Game and Movie Bundle, and it
Okay.
is 10% off.
Okay.
So
Well, that's crazy. They're already discounting the game
yeah,
and the movie.
yeah. Anyway, we also got Flockers 75% off. This is the one with the sheep one. You remember this one where they die? That was
Where they die.
yeah, that one. Also, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition 75% off, and Killer Instinct character Maya add-on 80% off. And here's the one. So you're gonna hear this from me. Need for Speed is 67% off. The deluxe edition is 67% off, and Need for Speed Rivals Complete Edition 67% off. All 67% off. But
Or
if you have EA access, do not buy the game. Is it in the vault now? Or
it is in the vault.
It is in the vault now.
Yes.
So if you have EA access, it is completely free with your EA
$5
access
a month or
subscription.
$30 a year. I highly recommend it. Plug that. EA should pay me. I plug that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what? I agree. They should pay you.
They should. Hey, EA, pay me.
pay that guy. He's right over there.
We also got Cube Director's Cut 67% off, and Super Toy Cars 33% off, and The Living Dungeon 50% off. So
Very nice.
obviously a smaller list from last week, but the summer sale is over, and those are our deals for this week, so be sure to check them out. And I believe the second half of the Games with Gold are available now. It was Tron Legacy, and I think Tumblestone. Yeah.
yes.
So those two should be available now for the second half of July.
Alrighty.
Moving on, we have some Twitch news.
Yeah, and I'd like
And-
McSpicy to
yeah,
kind
Mark
of
knows
review
a lot
this
about
for us
this,
because
so.
he really looked into this. Capture cards are now supported for Twitch broadcasters.
Give it to us in layman's terms.
Yeah, what does that mean for us Xbox owners, and why was this announced? Why did Major Nelson announce this? What does it mean?
Okay, so when you would have the Twitch app on your Xbox and you streamed, you were actually being promoted in a way directly within the Xbox community. If you go to Twitch right now, you would see 1 billion people streaming.
Sure.
If you go to the Xbox app and go to like the store, or like look up a game like Red Dead Redemption, for example, you would only see the Xbox caster streaming there. So it would actually filter out everyone else and just only limit Xbox, you could call it the Xbox filter on your, in the game store. What they've done, the only way you could do that previously was you had to stream from the Xbox One.
You have to use the built-in Twitch
The built-in Twitch app to appear at that section. So that limited a lot of streamers that wanted to, Xbox streamers that wanted to improve their, say, signal, their broadcast. You notice, like right now, since we're streaming from the PC, we have this overlay over here and down there. You could do like things and change scenes and all this other stuff. That wasn't available because you were limited with the Xbox Twitch app. It just streamed the game and your mic, essentially. Well, now, if you are playing an Xbox game and you link your Twitch app with you link your Twitch ID with your Xbox Live ID, now you will appear in that feed in the Xbox.
No matter
only,
where you're streaming.
No matter where you're streaming. So you can stream from your PC now, and if you link those, you will appear in the store and, of course, on the feed, the Xbox Live feed on your PC and Xbox Live feed on your friends list on the Xbox.
And that is only for games that are on Xbox.
Xbox, correct, yes. So that they basically said, well, the Xbox doesn't allow for an improved overlay, an improved stream, with all the bells and whistles.
Basically, the standard of a Twitch stream.
And And so Major Naslin says, not anymore. Now you can do it.
Now
You can look prettier.
Which, if
the
you
world
think-
is at your feet.
If you think about it, it makes sense because they're really getting into this play anywhere, you know?
yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense for them to.
Play anywhere, stream anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes hand in hand, baby.
So yeah, all you got to do is link your accounts, and then you can, as long as you're streaming a Xbox title, then you will appear on the Xbox feed.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which is pretty cool.
on
for the
on
streamers.
your friends list and all that stuff. You'll see it there.
So, so that is the Twitch news for this week, and we have Recore at $40.
Can I talk about this?
Yeah,
Yes.
They explained why it's $40.
Yeah, so Recore was announced that it's $40. A lot of people were like, oh no, what kind of this big hyped new Microsoft IP coming out? Perhaps this means that it's not that great of a game. Perhaps this means that it's a really short game. What does this mean? Who is the guy? Aaron Greenberg came out and
marketing director.
explained why Recore is priced at $40 on release. And I think it's an excellent explanation. Maybe he's lying through his teeth. Regardless, it's a really good reasoning in my mind. He said basically it's a brand new franchise, and the reason they want it to be at $40, there's no player base for it right now. So they have to, in his words, quote, we have to earn the gamers' trust. So we give a lower price point so people will jump in, experiment with it, say, oh
Okay.
yeah, this is a great game. It's a $60 value. He said you're not getting a lesser value. It's still a $60 value, but they need to build a player base for Recore, it being a brand new IP. I think that's really cool. I think that is a great philosophy for brand new games coming out.
Yep, and it is also kicking off their lineup for this fall
Yeah.
because it starts with Recore and then it goes into Final Fantasy, Gears of War, and all the rest of them.
Yeah,
You know?
but I think that's a great strategy for brand new IPs. Sunset Overdrive could have utilized that. It didn't. And I wonder if they learned from Sunset Overdrive
Yeah.
because it really didn't. It's a great game.
It's a great
Yeah,
game,
it's
and
fun.
it actually had. I felt at the time it had pretty good hype to it.
Yeah.
But I think it fell through the cracks for me.
Yeah.
and I'm sure it did with a lot of people.
And I think you've got to build that player base. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you think you're going up against Witcher. I mean, Witcher has a player base. Halo has a player base. Gears of War has a player base. Final Fantasy has a player base. Metal Gear Solid has a player base. What doesn't? Everything has a player base right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels like it. Yeah, because there's new IPs are getting rarer and rarer. I feel, although the last year or two we've done okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anyways, cool strategy. $40. I'm gonna be checking that out.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for Recore. I think it looks fun. No briefing. No briefing at Gamescom this year for Microsoft. They basically said they're not going to have the usual briefing. They're going to have a more intimate Xbox Fan Fest experience.
Ooh.
Oh.
So
A lot like what they did. I think we're getting away from press briefings. That's what it feels like. The last E3, they had the Xbox event outside the Microsoft event.
Can I say why?
Okay, go
'Cause
ahead.
I think the press.
Oh, okay.
I think the press sucks.
Yeah.
Like ever since the keynote that Microsoft did with Windows 10, they invited the press and they're sitting front and center, and the guys out there, and he was like, guys, we got something great for you.
Yeah.
Augmented reality and all this new, and he's all these new crazy features. And he's like, check this out, and he shows them. They're just and they
And meanwhile,
start
you just
typing.
hear.
And it's like, get excited.
They weren't
you know?
even-
Like,
they weren't
yeah,
even
come on.
looking- they didn't
Yeah.
even look
They were
up.
looking at their screens the whole time. I mean, I guess we count as media, but
I'm
we're
excited.
cool.
I'm excited
Nah,
because
I don't count my. I'm
Yeah,
not putting
yeah,
myself
well,
in there.
I think it's the future because in
Yeah.
a world where mainstream media, I don't want to say mainstream media is dead because it's absolutely not. There's still tons of powerhouses out there, but everybody can get their news from wherever they want. I
Yeah.
get most of my gaming news from Everyday Joes via YouTube and blogs. Right?
Well,
I
and
mean,
they're still going to have announcements and stuff like that. They're just not going to do it in the traditional way. They're just doing a more intimate Xbox Fan Fest experience for the fans, and more details are coming soon. So
yeah, and I'll be honest, I like it. I think that it gives direct access. You cut out the middleman. Direct access from the fan to the developer, publisher, company, whoever.
yeah, so it's going to be cool. So Battlefield 1 Assault Class Guide over on GameSpot. They have a short video giving you a little guide to the Assault class on Battlefield 1. Check this out. No more is there an engineering class. His stuff has kind of been trickled to the other classes.
Is he now the vehicle driving class? Tank
kind
class?
of.
Because that's an official class now, right?
yeah.
Is airplane an official class?
I
Like
don't
being in
know. I
aircraft?
think it's just tank or
Okay,
vehicle
so
class.
vehicle
but
class.
from what he said, the engineer class has kind of been trickled between all the other classes. So the assault now has the anti-vehicle weapon, which is actually really cool. So it's World War I. So we didn't really have the RPGs that we
Sure.
have today, or the rocket launchers that we have today, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you have to do to kill a vehicle is you have to mount that gun somewhere, either on the ground or on a wall, before you shoot it. You can't just carry it over your shoulder and fire it. I like that. Very cool. Also, the assault class is the only person that can destroy buildings.
Oh.
So,
I like that a
lot
lot.
of people. So when I was watching this guide, he was saying, when you jump in as the assault class, your first instinct is to go for the vehicles. But he says what you want to do is you want to be more of a team player, and what you want to do is you want to blow out cover for your snipers. So, for example, he shot up at a windmill. His snipers went up there and looked over the valley. Right, you blow out cover for your windmill, and then of course you blow out cover for the team. And a tank went behind a wall. He shot the wall. Everybody just pounded on it. Right.
Wow.
So really cool. And that's just one class. I mean, there's more classes, but they just did an assault class guide. And by the way, that game is looking fantastic. Yeah, very,
yes.
very good.
Blake the barber, our good friend Blake the barber,
Yes.
said that
he is my barber.
Yes, he would like to give us a history lesson on World War I planes. He's really into World War I planes.
Last time I got my haircut with him, we talked planes.
Yeah.
He knows planes.
He knows planes. He knows World War I planes. He needs to teach us about them before we do Battlefield 1. That's why he's excited for Battlefield 1, because of the historical ramifications or implications of World War I aircraft.
Last time I talked to him, he went on a spiel about how he hates drones.
Oh.
Because back in his day, he had to learn how to fly a plane that was super
Oh, yeah,
expensive.
the remote control airplanes.
yeah.
And if you crash those, you're out.
You're
a lot of money.
and you have to repair them, whereas drones are cheap and anybody can fly them. So
Yeah.
now when he goes and flies, he flies like the traditional planes and stuff like that. He loves that stuff. He hates them.
Hates the drones.
Because there's remote control plane etiquette.
Oh,
out
okay.
there. And drone people don't know the rules.
Oh, okay. I can see
It's the
that.
same. Okay, it's the same with motorcycles. I can see it too. When I'm riding my motorcycle, there's like an etiquette on the road. You wave to other motorcycles and you respect a whole bunch of people and all that stuff. But like the people on mopeds, they don't know the rules. They're jerks. They're jerks to all the bikers.
I can
The
see
hate it.
Vespas
Yeah, they did. They didn't grow up in the motorcycle
era.
era, so so it's the same way with those planes, but yeah. Here. Anyways, so that's awesome. That's awesome. My wife brought you a bag just in case you need to hurl.
Oh, thanks.
He's good. Captain Crunch
Yeah,
has
it was
sailed.
it's just
in
that-
case it's down
It
here.
was just that captain.
Just lean over and I'll hit your mute button.
Maybe when like an.
Anyways,
awful game
Battlefield
comes
1,
out.
really excited for the history there.
Yeah. I'm just excited because it looks like a really fun game, and it looks more strategic with these classes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, check out that assault class guide. The game looks awesome. So, Gears of War 4 will have microtransactions in the multiplayer, but think of it more as, I don't know, cosmetic. It's not gonna be pay to win.
it's like it'll be a lot like how Halo does it. Halo 5.
Yeah. Well, Halo, you use your rec cards within the rec system.
Sure.
I don't know exactly if they have their version of Warzone,
Warzone.
or the rec system,
Sure.
but they do have card characters, weapon skin, emblems, bounties, horde, equipment and abilities. And horde mode we know is not competitive multiplayer. Horde mode is
Co-op.
zombies
Co-op.
coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, co-op. Not you against.
I,
other
I
players,
feel
so.
like the bad word that is microtransactions is becoming less bad because developers are using it more and more respectfully / properly.
Well, look at this. You have characters that you can unlock, right?
Yeah.
Weapon skins, emblems, bounties, stuff that does not affect
Yeah.
the gameplay, right?
I
So-
think microtransaction was really like a new concept, especially with the age of cell phones, games coming to cell phones. It seems like it's getting figured out. We've reached the stage where almost nobody, maybe I don't want to say almost nobody,
Outside of the mobile era
but
or genre. I
yeah,
guess.
but it seems like more. I mean, even look at Pokemon Go. It's a huge game on mobile devices, and it's not. They do it correctly as well. Microtransactions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, and then with the horde equipment and abilities, they're going to reveal more. So stay tuned. They haven't really talked about it, but they're going to talk about horde. I think they called it 3.0.
oh, nice.
Yeah, 3.0.
Real quick, going back to the remote control airplane discussion, 9mil in chat says, I spent 3 months after school in the 80s building a remote control plane, had a 40cc engine, 8-channel Fatuba radio to control it. Second time I flew it, crashed it into a tree.
That's funny. That sucks, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, that is pretty awful. A game I'm really excited for, actually, because I think the comic book universe is kind of perfect for these types of games.
Yeah, yeah.
Telltale's Batman is confirmed for a physical release date with physical discs in the store and digital, of course, in
So August.
Yeah, so August release date for digital, and then September for physical. But they will both be coming. So you can.
I
choose
can
which one
see
you want.
people buying the physical of this as like a collector's item because the really cool artwork. I mean, the artwork in it looks amazing.
And they showed a screenshot of Batman talking to Catwoman, and it looks.
I think this is going to be McSpicy's first Telltale purchase.
Batman
It's
is
Batman.
Batman.
That's your
Batman
cup
is
of-
Batman.
You're
That's
basically
your cup of tea, baby.
Batman is Batman.
You're reading an interactive comic book, is all it is.
Okay,
That's how
if
you think of
if
it.
you
Yeah.
explain it like that, maybe I'll press A and play that game.
Yeah. See, well, that's
So go to the next page.
well, that's really like how I think of it. It's an interactive comic book. You know, you have your whatever decisions every once in a while, and then your little
Okay,
action points.
Call it
here
that.
and there.
Don't call it a game because it's not a game. I'm pressing A every 10 seconds.
You're
Right,
gonna
digital
walk
comic
around.
book.
And I'm
baby.
making choices that mean nothing.
Yeah, I really wish that they would fix that.
Yeah, because it all like they branch off, but then they all.
They don't even
It's
branch
still,
off.
It is still fun.
The answers are still the same.
I will say it is still fun to make those decisions, and they do still do a good job, especially in the Game of Thrones Telltale series. You're like, oh man, but then at the end of the game, you're like, all of my decisions made no matter at all.
that had no relevance.
Yeah.
It's
It
not a
would be-
Mass Effect game.
It would be cool if
Maybe this one the decisions will matter.
like remember the old Goosebump books, and at the bottom it was like create your own story. You'd be like,
Yeah.
if you choose to do this, go to page 21. If you choose to do this, go to page.
I
19.
love those books.
Yeah, no, change
I would
it.
always read it backwards so I could choose which the correct ones to do. That's how I play video
you're a
games.
cheater, man.
No, that's how I play like Dragon Age. I'll save, then see what happens, then go back, save, then see what happens again. Okay, I'm choosing the third one.
yeah.
That's that's
is.
how, that's
Just
how I live my
carries
life.
over.
I
Just
just want to
carries over.
see what happens. And then those Telltale games, it doesn't matter. You can just press A. The
I'm
entire
excited
time.
for you. That's going to be your first one, and I'm really excited for you. Can I say that?
Yeah, I just have a hard time with quick time events in games.
Sure.
And that is a quick time event game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's Batman.
Okay. Maybe I'm if the artwork's cool and if I consider it a comic book that I think I can do it.
Look at
with
that.
it. Yeah.
If you just change your perspective,
I know.
perspective
I'm
a
gonna be
little
like,
bit.
turn the page. A.
And then also, Walking Dead season 3 is going to get a retail release as well. So
Nice.
if you don't want them digitally, you can get them via retail, physical copies. Next week, I think it is July 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Bungie is doing a Rise of Iron live stream, and I'm excited for this. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
So it's going to be next Wednesday. I'm excited for this because I have been playing Destiny lately, and
Oh.
it's a fun game.
Yeah,
So
it really is. You know what
it's,
they nail? I'll say it again. Said it a million times. Style.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it
and-
is the best style games for gear out right now.
Yeah, and they've actually done it even more because now when I've logged in, I haven't been in a while. You guys will have the same thing. You have these things called I forget what they're called, but they're boxes that are treasure chests, right? And do you know when they released Chroma? You remember that? We talked about it a while back.
Yeah.
Chroma is the lights
armor
you
that
can put
lights
on.
up?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lights you
Yeah.
can put on your armor.
Yeah.
That's addicting to want to get those, and it makes your armor look cool. And they also have taken armor that you can earn, and it's just
They nail style.
Style is they. They are
Anytime
really
I
good at
see a
style.
tweet or something and they're like, check out our new gun, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, and of course, we know this, the Prison of Elders has been updated to the current light level cap. So, if you guys want to play, I've been playing it.
All right.
And I need a couple other people
On
because I can matchmake for the first one, but I can't matchmake for the higher level one. So,
Still bugged about that.
yeah, I know. I mean, I get why they do it, but I think you can.
You can trust people to
Yeah.
play a game that they want to play.
Well, and I think.
And then you can really, within the first 10 minutes of playing any raid that's difficult, you will know if you're
Yeah.
going to suck.
Well,
Just bail and find someone else.
The thing is, well, I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah,
Like, you
but-
know what I mean? Like, people, like, for example, I jump into the Taken King raid, and we get 5 minutes in, someone quits, and we got to find another one. 5 minutes,
5 minutes
quits,
in.
quit.
5
you know
minutes
what I mean?
in is.
But I guess we can consistently re-queue.
See, yeah, exactly. 5 minutes in is not 4 hours in, and then you get
Well, the reason I don't, because like, so going back to World of Warcraft, the game I always use as an example, when they do their raids, they have basically three tiers. They have looking for raid, which is the easy mode. Everybody can queue up for it. You don't really need to chat. It's just so you can get the idea and the mechanics of each boss, get a
Yeah.
little bit of understanding.
Training.
Yeah, training, basically. You can still get gear that'll get you into normal mode rage, which they don't let you queue for. You need to have your guild and stuff, which then will get you gear to do the hard mode, right? And that makes sense for that game and for the PC. I think for the console, where everybody is guaranteed a headset and you know that they can talk to you in whatever form, you know what I mean? It's a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if I queue up for even Overwatch, if I queue into an Overwatch ranked match, I can talk to all those people. We've done it in Rainbow Six.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but our brother Jono, he jumps in it and just talks to strangers in ranked matches, and they work together. And they, I think it's easier to do on a console. So it is kind of, I don't know why they don't put that. I understand like the idea of not wanting to put that in, but
I would just like to queue on those because it's super hard to find.
I mean, if you want to do it with your
people,
friends, you can do it with your friends. If not,
it really
then
is.
just queue in.
I know we have on the forums, we have a looking for group now, and there is a Destiny looking for group, and that would not exist if they would have just put that in
which
there.
I might be using soon because I want to get into those higher level Taken King, Prison of Elders.
I just think they could have created a system like that, and it just, I don't know. Finding six.
Well,
I
think on a console, I will same thing with Elder Scrolls does have a looking for group, and so does DC Universe Online because you're guaranteed a microphone, so it's easy to talk to the players. But anyway, Rise of Iron live stream next week. I'm having fun with Destiny. If you haven't jumped in it in a while, I think now is probably a good time to, get excited for it again. They've added a lot of cool new stuff. They have the Year 2 Moments of Triumph going on right now, which is a fun little grind and stuff like that to get all your Moments of Triumph for this year. So be sure to check that out. Also, we have a Gears of War themed Xbox One S.
This box looks gorgeous.
It does.
Awesome.
I
Red.
think
Who knew?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a fine wine. It's an acquired taste.
Oh, do you not like it?
Really?
No, I like it a lot, but
It's like-
It's not for everybody though.
yeah, it's not for, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
and
like-
I've seen people like, oh, I'd prefer the white one. You know what I mean?
Jazz and sushi.
Yeah, it's just, you gotta
You gotta
it's that
you gotta-
acquired taste.
You gotta learn to
But
like
I mean,
it.
it's a Gears of War, and it comes with a Gears controller, and it just looks good. I think if I get an S, which I probably will, I'll get this one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I might not be able to put it in the living room, but I'm gonna get that
Doesn't
one.
match your decor.
Yeah, it does look cool. It's got the splatter on it and the scratch marks, and it's
That
a cool
is
looking box.
Super sexy.
so,
And the Gears logo just on the right side.
where the fan is. Yeah. We have a Star Wars Battlefront Death Star DLC being teased, supposedly coming this summer. And then Skirmish will be available on July 20th, and you'll be able to play against bots in a solo mission or with a friend using split screen.
Oh,
So-
very nice.
So be sure to check that out. And then, of course, we all know Bespin, I think is the name of it, is out now. Cloud City, I've played it. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
So be sure to check that out. And then, of course, keep your eyes out for the Death Star expansion in September, which will be the third expansion. And then Sea of Thieves release window confirmed by Xbox Australia. I think this was another one of those oops moments. Xbox Australia said Sea of Thieves is coming to Xbox One in February 2017. And then Aaron Greenberg just confirmed that there's no specific release date, so
No,
don't get too
don't get too
attached.
Too attached.
I gotta
Okay.
also mention the Gears of War themed Xbox One S is $450. I don't think we mentioned that.
Nice, but it is a 2 terabyte console.
2 terabyte
Oh,
console.
baby.
Oh, baby.
Yes. I love it.
give me data
Okay,
space.
Let's have this.
And I think it also comes bundled with Gears 4.
let's have this
It does,
discussion
and Season Pass.
right now, since it came up with the new Gears of War console, the Xbox One S. I received a text message from one James, who has Mark's brother, who was a guest host on this show one time. Next time he comes up, he'll be a guest host again.
Every time he comes up, he's super busy. He's in the military. So, yeah.
He is debating on whether or not to get he wants an Xbox One. He's going to get an Xbox One. He was debating whether he should get the Xbox One or the Xbox One S. I took my conclusion, and you guys can let me know if I led him astray or if it was correct advice. I said it all comes down to price point. The Xbox One has some updated features, but in my mind, it's whether or not you want to pay that price for it and you think the look is worth it.
For the Xbox One S.
Yeah, I told him I would just go for the normal one myself.
Really?
For someone, getting in.
I think.
Well, what are the price points?
So
it's $299 for the regular one.
$299 for the regular one at 500 gigs.
Yeah.
Or $299 for the S at 500 gigs.
Yeah.
I don't think 500 gigs is worth it. I think I mean,
Yeah,
I
but-
would get the 500 gig one. I would go up to the 2 gig. I did tell him he could get the 500 gig if he already had external hard drives and just connect those bad
He's
boys.
got probably 30 external hard drives.
Then
but
he's set.
you also
Yeah.
got to think James had a 360 and he had about 2 games on it.
He's not.
He's not
True.
hard.
Okay,
You know what I
true.
mean? He'll play with us and he'll get what we tell him.
I
but-
told him, and for
Yeah,
anyone new,
he's moldable.
For anyone
we can
new-
force him by peer pressure to get any game
for
we want.
anyone new, in my mind, it comes down to price point, whether or not that price point is good for them.
No, I would totally say get the S. You're going to get better
I would-
hardware, better everything. It's smaller, it's quieter, 4K resolution.
It is sexier.
Just if you haven't gotten it up to this point, the S is a no-brainer for me.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have him get
Everyone
the
has
299S.
external hard drives just lying around.
That is true. That is true.
Since like 2001, we've been accumulating these that we don't want to use anymore because maybe they'll break. I don't know. So I think
But, I mean,
the
if,
S.
if he can't wait, I think isn't the the Xbox One was on sale, but I mean,
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, we'll see what he
Never mind.
gets.
Yeah.
We'll see what he gets.
He better listen to the show. James, get the S. And why did you go to David and not me?
I did not pressure him. I think that's why. I just said, price point, man.
It's up to
Whatever
you,
you
man.
want to
Choice.
pay.
He
it's
does
up
not
to you.
know you.
it's all about choice.
I dare anyone in the world to go to an electronic store with David and not end up buying a projector,
It's true.
a console, something. He will make it like, you know what? 6 months, no interest, man. It's free money. Just get it.
I think you want to know why I think I have that power of persuasion over when we go shopping, or not, and not just when I go shopping with anyone. They usually end up buying something, and I kind of don't.
And you
Because
benefit from it?
I think because I get so excited about stuff. I'm like, yes, this will be awesome. Do it, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
when we were roommates, we had a room that was like 8 feet by 8 feet. It was teeny, and we got a projector for that room for some reason.
Surround sound.
Surround sound and the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He will get you, man. You got to be careful when you go to the store with David.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about these new boxes is it's all about choice. You, depending on who you are, what gaming style you have,
True,
you can get this
sure.
choice. And just a reminder to keep in mind, they're not new consoles in the sense that you can't play your old games. Remember that you can, all your Xbox stuff is going to work for all Xboxes. It
Amen.
just depends on how hardcore a gamer you are and what you want. So, cunning stunts in Grand Theft Auto 5.
You got to be careful with
Yes,
that one.
you do.
I know you do. I was actually watching
And
IGN
I'm
play it.
sure they did that on purpose.
I'm sure they
it's
did as well.
Rockstar.
Yeah, and I was watching
IGN?
IGN play it. They were playing just a demo of it, and they messed.
They got tongue-tied a
they
couple
said
times.
stunning other word. You know, like they yeah. It was they were like whoa yeah. Cunning stunts is the new. Did we mention this last week? I threw it in there. I can't remember. So it's the new GTA Online mode. It's basically think of Hot Wheels in Los Santos, and that's what it is. You remember
Yeah.
your old Hot Wheels tracks from
Oh,
the
yeah.
90s?
Heck yes, I do.
They'd zip through. It's basically that
Nice.
in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Awesome.
So it's actually
Awesome.
really cool. And of course, new mode, free to play. Go check
it out.
So really cool. Halo Wars. If you were lucky enough to get into the beta, they tracked your data, which is pretty cool. There was 72 million gameplay minutes played.
Very nice.
Right, 6 zeros is a million, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 72 million gameplay minutes. The UNSC versus the Banished. So there's UNSC and there's Banished as the two factions. UNSC won 49.2% of the time, and the Banished won 50.8%.
That is actually
of the
an
time.
important stat in my mind. It means whatever the differences of the teams is basically even.
Pretty even, yeah.
Balanced.
So, yeah. So there was 318,000 hijacks.
Okay.
There was 204 million units created. The longest domination win was 2 hours 59 minutes. There's 4 million buildings built. There's just a ton of stats.
Anyways,
Let's
that's
just go
that blow
through,
your
yeah.
mind in the Halo beta.
The
people are
the
playing that
favorite
game.
leader power is the UNSC Lotus Mines. So, but anyway, just a lot of cool. If you were lucky enough to get in, past that frozen screen, which not many people were. But anyway, Pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't.
and
I tried multiple times.
yeah, Halo Wars 2 coming out, I believe, in February 2017.
Really excited. That's a must buy for me.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. So we also got these came out a little while ago, but I haven't mentioned them. DC Universe Online has their newest episode out, episode 25. It's really cool. You can go to the Iceberg Lounge and then do the Rip in Time, which is really cool. I really like how DC Universe does their episodes. Really
Where they
fun.
do them like seasons?
Well, no. So what it is, they come out every patch is an episode. So they're on episode
Oh,
25, and it basically adds a one-player solo thing, which is in this case the Iceberg Lounge. Adds a new dungeon, a little bit new story. It's basically kind of like an issue, if you will. You know, the next issue.
I like that.
And yeah, it's really cool. I think you guys should play DC Universe. I think it's a really fun game. I mean, the graphics aren't the best. It is an older game, but I mean, you're playing as
As
a
your
superhero,
superheroes,
as
yeah.
a superhero that you created with your favorite superheroes. So I mean, it's super fun. I like it a lot.
Superhero, super fun.
Yeah, super fun. So I think it's good. So be sure to check that out. That's been out for a little bit. Also in DC Universe Online, David, you'll like this. They have their seasonal events.
Sure.
Because they're an online game, and it makes sense to have seasonal events.
I like that, yes.
Elder Scrolls. Tides of War is a season event. It's the summer event. Basically,
I
the
see.
battle for Atlantis continues.
Oh, so it's going to be
yeah.
beach-themed.
Aquaman's conniving half-brother has railed the forces of the mutineer rallied, sorry.
That's okay.
Railed.
They've railed.
They railed them.
He's railed those.
Rallied them.
Mutineer, Atlanteans, in
Yeah.
an attempt to displace King Arthur and take the throne.
Ooh, that's bad. So the Atlantean Civil War has breached the waters of Metropolis.
Boom.
Be sure to jump in the seasonal event. I believe it's a dungeon. I forget what they call. I think they call them operations.
How are their
and,
dungeons?
They're a lot of fun, actually. I really
Because
I remember.
was I watching a Lazy Peon First Impressions and he got rocked in the dungeons? Because can't you go into dungeons
No.
at any point?
no.
Oh, that
so
was
it's-
PvP. Sorry, he was in PvP.
Yeah, PvP is a little different. Although I did figure it out.
Okay.
And I get how it works, but that's a conversation for another time.
But the dungeons,
The
how
dungeons.
are the dungeons?
The dungeons are fine. You can go in with higher levels. I have not had so Lazy Peon basically he went into a dungeon and he was level 20.
5.
Yeah, let's
and
just say
someone
20,
was like
right?
level 200 and they took them
Yeah.
2 seconds to knock down that dungeon.
So and I have not had that problem yet. And the way the leveling works is the level cap is 30, and then you do something called what's it called, combat rating, and
Sure.
it goes from there. But I have not had that problem yet. Every dungeon I've been in, we've all been around the same level. It keeps you in cap pretty in.
And how are the mechanics? Pretty
Really fun. So
entertaining?
it's an action MMORPG, so it's
Yeah,
an action
yeah.
combat, which is really fun. But you gotta. The dungeons are hard. You can't just breeze
Yeah.
through them. You know,
Okay.
they're,
I
they're
appreciate
good.
that.
They're
I mean,
good.
that's
Yeah,
what they're
they're
supposed
good.
to be.
I mean, some people are gonna say, "Oh, they're easy," but I mean, in my opinion, from playing MMOs, they're a good challenge to some of these dungeons.
IMO.
So, and
IMO.
IMO. So yeah, but I think DC Universe is a good game. I mean, it's free to play, so even if you hate it, you didn't lose anything. So be sure to go check it out, and it's fun. Kingsglaive, another
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy thing that I'm really excited for. Kingsglaive is coming to America August 19th. That's just next month. That's almost exactly 1 month. It's 1 month and 4 days.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Away from
what
that,
is
yeah.
Kingsglaive exactly?
Kingsglaive, from what I understand, in the game, Prince Noctis is going to go away.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to play the game. And Kingsglaive is what is happening while Prince Noctis is playing the game, if that makes sense.
Okay.
He's away
Yeah.
in the game. So, and it takes care of that. That's from what I understand, kind of what they mentioned at the Square Enix. But I'm really excited. Final Fantasy is my most anticipated for this year.
Awesome.
Can't wait to play for it. And Kingsglaive, it's going to be fun. And then keep in mind, the anime series on YouTube is out now as well. Be sure to watch that as well.
Final Fantasy
So
anime.
it is. You do have to read the subtitles because it's not dubbed in English, but
Absolutely.
it's good. So
Well,
get a little
biggest
bit more
story
backstory.
of the news or biggest story of the week in your opinion?
It's not this week, but the new episode for DC Universe. It's
You
a
think that's good?
it's a good time. I really like DC Universe.
Myself, I think the Gears box, the new Gears.
Oh, yeah,
box
that was
coming
good.
out. That
That
I
was
mean,
good.
that thing was.
And Kerbal Space Program.
And
Guys,
let's
that-
be honest, I think application-wise, probably the streaming news.
Yeah, the capture
The
card.
capture
That's what I was
card,
going
yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't ask me, so.
So I was channeling you.
Okay,
I was channeling you. Yes, absolutely.
Then you
And
got
with
it.
that, it's time to go to our discussion moment, our discussion segment, kind of tied in with news here, as We take your questions via Facebook every week. Friday, there's a post that goes up. Just share your questions there, or you can message us via email, Xbox Live,
or whatever, forums here, even in chat. We've had lots of times people ask questions in chat, and we've addressed them
Absolutely.
on the show right there. Boom,
Right
it
there.
happened.
Boom. No questions asked.
But this time
except
we're on
their question that they ask. See what I did there?
Woo, that's good. That was really good.
First question comes from the one, the only, Michael the Foz Mavity. He says, "Hey guys, just recently found your awesome podcast. First, cheers for the quality listen.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
baby.
to have you. Woo.
I bet you're from Britannia, Britain.
No, I'm gonna say Australia.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
care. I'm just gonna do
Somewhere
it.
where they use cheers.
Yeah.
As a greeting. Anyways, cheers for the quality listen. He says, my question is, have any of you put big amounts of time into a game, and what stopped you from playing said game so much more than you did? He says, I have Destiny over 2,000 hours invested. I really don't want to stop playing. I enjoy other games, but Destiny is my jam. Cheers, the Rangery Foz. That's his gamer tag. Thank you, Rangery Foz.
Oh,
2,000 hours in Destiny.
That's
so,
a lot of time.
Have you ever had a game that you put in tons of time, and what made you stop playing that
yeah,
game?
I got one,
Go ahead.
and it's
A
several
recent
games.
one. A recent one? I think I know a recent one that you could talk about. But go ahead. Sorry. I'm putting words in your mouth.
No. What do you got for me? What
I
do you
know
got?
we had a talk about this in therapy. I cannot put words in your mouth. I am sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yes.
But I would like to address this.
Okay.
As the therapist told us to do.
Stardew Valley.
What? I do like Stardew
Yeah.
Valley. I do like Stardew Valley a lot. No, I'm going to go ahead and say Call of Duty.
Oh,
I used
okay,
to
sure.
play. That was my only game I played, and I mean, when I say my only game, every year I would get the new one, and for that year I would play that game. I started with Modern Warfare, so Call of Duty 4, and
Okay.
I played up until Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
Which there was a lot of game. There's 5 or 6 in between that. I can't even tell you the amount of time and hours spent in that game. What caused me to stop playing was in Modern Warfare 3, the spawn system in the multiplayer competitive arena, they would purposefully spawn you behind a person that just killed you. And the developer said, we wanted there to be more action. They didn't think that was an issue, and it was so frustrating to me. I can't even tell you how many times I wanted to chuck my controller right into the TV and just rage and just, because when I see myself killing the guy in the kill cam and then him appearing behind me and killing him, that is rage-inducing.
Let me ask you this. Had they not made that change, would you still be on Call of Duty today?
I probably would, and I would go and say I am grateful that that happened, because I was when I sat back and go, this game's not. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not having a good time anymore. You know, my blood pressure's up. It's just I want to play games for fun. When that happened, I just stopped playing. I remember I just put my controller down. I'm like, wonder what other games are out there, and I had like years worth of backlog. I hadn't played StarCraft 2 since it had come out.
Is that the time when you jumped into Bad Company with us, or was it around
that
time?
No, Bad Company was before that.
Oh,
Bad
okay.
Company was before
okay.
that for sure. Yeah. But it really just, and to have the developer not address it as an issue, because everybody was complaining about it.
Oh, I think they were in Ghosts as well.
And they haven't fixed it. And I won't play a Call of Duty game because of that. When I don't have fun in a game, I'm sorry. Now it's a personal, like, I really want to smile, have a good time. So I would have to say, to answer the question, Call of Duty's spawn system made me get rid of the thousands and thousands of hours invested into it.
Yeah, interesting. Jordan, how about you? Any game that you've put in that much time to? If so, what tore you away?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
World of Warcraft?
So,
maybe?
oh yeah, that's World of Warcraft. Sorry, I'm trying to think like just Xbox. Yeah, it'd probably be World of Warcraft.
How many hours do you think you have in World of Warcraft?
I can
total?
check for you.
Oh,
and it'll
is
tell
it
you.
in the thousands?
I don't know.
I bet you it's in the thousands.
I know it's days. Like there's days in it because it.
Oh, it does
starts
it by
to track
days?
Well, it
Yeah.
does it like so. Like if you type in /time played, it'll
Yeah.
tell you like days, hours, minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game What did bring me out of that?
Wait, what was the game?
World
Sorry.
of Warcraft.
Oh,
But see, that game's hard though, because it still brings me back every once in a while.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
every
With the
expansion.
I think what brought me out of it is I played all the way up through Mist of Pandaria, and
Okay.
it just wasn't the same. It just didn't have that same vibe
So,
anymore. You
we
know what
have
I mean?
another
The story
line-
was kind of lacking,
Yeah.
and it just kind of lost it for me.
So for both of you, what brought you out of your game was they changed something. They changed something that hooked you in the game in the first place, and that got you away from it. And I think that could be something you can see that with a Destiny. The Rangery Foz says he's put 2,000 hours in. If at one point they make a change that he doesn't like, I'm sure he'll step away as well. Don't make changes that people
well,
don't
okay,
like.
and I'll say this. Dragon Age, Inquisition.
Yeah.
I have stopped playing that game because I don't know what choice to make.
That's one of those good problems,
Yeah,
though. That's
no, I have not played that game in like a year because I seriously don't know what choice to make.
I like that though.
you should just
I like that choices
You should
matter.
just blindfold yourself. And
See,
hit the
this is
button.
not a Telltale game. Choices matter in this.
It's true. Thanks, Rangery Foz, for the
Hey,
question.
did you have one?
Oh, I really don't. I've never
Okay.
played. I think the most I've played a game is like 600 hours. I'm definitely not into the thousands. I mean, I have Madden that I play every year, but I don't play the games the same as you guys. I basically play the game when it first come out, and then I play it when I feel like it.
Yeah.
What about Guild Wars? You put a lot of hours into Guild
that
Wars.
was the one
too.
that I think I
Yeah.
put 600 hours into.
And then there was no real end game for
And
you,
then
right?
I reached the end, and I was like, I made it! Yay!
Now what?
Oh, what?
Let's buy an Xbox.
That's right, Xbox One. Woo! Nick Solheim, aka Freaky RO, who is in chat right now, wants to know, hey guys, newish to the show, I love it, and your message. I'm wanting to donate on Patreon, but with a recent need of Pokemon Go Pokeballs, I'm going to donate on the first tier. My questions are, number one, so the first tier in Patreon is $1 for a donation. And on that, we give away free hugs. That's our prize. It doesn't actually enter you. You have to get to $3 before you're entered into the drops, the monthly drops.
Correct, yes.
So his questions is, if he donates $1 on Patreon, will I be able to collect my hug? Number one.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Two, is it a group hug or a hug from each of you?
It is actually
Patreon choice. The Patreon's choice.
Oh, Patreon's choice, you say.
Yeah.
Nick Spicy's thought about this, though.
no. Well, it's whenever it's free hugs. It's plural.
Oh.
Like you could have a group hug. You could have a single hug.
Yeah,
Both.
one long
You can
awkward
mix
hug.
it all together?
You know, with the the little disclosure, if we have to go somewhere, we need to go somewhere. But if you see us, we will hug you.
Third question, how long will the embrace be, and will we rock slowly back and forth?
Again, patron's decision.
Patron's
but
choice.
We do reserve the right to stop the hug at any time
If it becomes weird.
if it becomes
And
too awkward.
last, but not well, he just says he just needs to know so that he can practice and prepare.
That's a really good. Those were great questions.
That was thank you, Freaky RO, for sending in that question. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, if you donate $1 to our show, pledge $1 each month, you get free hugs whenever we see you.
Yeah.
And for the record, we are planning to eventually do some sort of meetup shindig.
Yeah.
It's just getting to that point.
correct.
So one day you will be able to collect on that promise of a hug. Casey Height wants to know, with Pokemon Go and the Nintendo Retro Console, do you feel gamers are longing for the past where games from their childhood were worlds where you could get lost in because they required imagination? Great question.
What was the question again?
I will repeat that.
Thank you.
Do you feel gamers are longing for the past where games from our childhood were worlds you could get lost in because you were required to use your imagination? I will say yes and no for two reasons. I mean, it's yes and no. I think that older gamers are wanting to go to the past. I don't think younger gamers necessarily want to go back. I would be curious at what the sales rate is for the Nintendo Mini that is coming out. For those of you that don't know, it got announced this week that a
Yeah,
Nintendo
it's,
Mini is coming out with 30 games preloaded onto it. It's like a replica of
Yeah,
the
it's
original
just-
Nintendo,
just in your hand.
just smaller.
I got it pulled up there.
That's
for
so
you.
funny. They've made these for years in China. They're just called like the Wintendo.
Yeah.
And they were like, it was like Dontra instead of Contra. They're just doing, then now they're actually licensing.
So do you think that we're nostalgic because those games required us to use our imagination to a certain.
I don't think so.
Point.
And I'm going to say why. Okay.
Okay, well, let me finish mine. I think only older gamers are that experience that. I don't think newer gamers go back. I don't think newer gamers, for instance, if I'm 15 years old today and I grew up with Halo, I'm not going back to James Bond and saying, "Wow, this was a good game." That's unfortunate, but it's just, especially 3D games, it's hard to go back to those graphical
I think it is. Yeah.
things.
So
I think it depends on when you start gaming.
Well, no, I don't think so. The reason in the question is because we long for our imaginations, or
Sure.
you know. No, I think it goes back to the psychology thing where if you had a pleasant experience with a smell or with a location or with anything like that, and
Sure.
you enjoyed it, I think the games are in the same thing. I don't know what that is called, but I know that it exists when you, like for me, when I think of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past,
Sure.
I think of I played that game at like my grandpa's old farmhouse on an old click TV.
Sure.
And I rigged it up and I played that for a week and beat it, and it was just one of the greatest. And it's my favorite game of all time because of when I think of it now, I think of good times.
Yeah.
You know, and it was fun, and it was a really good time in my life. And that's why I like that game. I don't think it has anything to do with the story, although the story was really good, where you have what could happen if a bad guy took over, the world, and there's a whole bunch of Zelda story and lore that's within that I really liked. But it's because the reason I liked the game wasn't because of the story. I remember that, and does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what my nostalgia is with games.
It's all encompassing. It's not just the game itself. It's your life around that game at the time.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Donkey Kong Country 2, I remember playing with my friend.
I remember when you watched Donkey, you were like, "Whoa, look how good this!"
Oh,
is.
it's amazing.
Actually, it still holds up pretty well.
It really does.
Claymation, the claymation.
Yeah,
look.
that kind of look.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really did. Rare they were a genius back then.
Yeah. Do you think newer gamers go back and do those games stand the test of time? I think maybe I will retract my previous statement. I didn't really think about this question before I answered it. I think that those games also do stand the test of time. A lot of them. Mario, for instance.
Well,
especially
'cause
gameplay wise.
Back then, it wasn't 3D. I think the first. Remember Mario, Super Mario World on the Nintendo 64 was
3D.
like the real full AAA
Sure.
3D. I mean, you had your Wolfensteins and stuff like that, but it wasn't like super. The Nintendo 64 version of Mario. Back then, it was you had your top downs and you had your platformers. Really, and you had a couple niche games like Duck Hunt and stuff like that. But platformers can hold this test of time because we still have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not much to going from point A to point B, although there is much to it. But it's a good formula.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Jordan, any thoughts?
No, I agree with you guys.
Are you guys excited for the Nintendo Mini?
I actually am. The reason why is one game.
What
Well,
is that
actually,
one game?
there's a couple games that are pretty cool.
Final
on there.
Fantasy and Excite Bike.
Yeah,
do it for
Final
me.
Fantasy, the very first Final Fantasy game. That'll be fun to go back and play.
Yeah.
So.
I think it'll just be cool to have a little mini Nintendo.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
is that the list that's on that?
Yeah, 30 games. The list. You want me to go through the list?
Bubble Bobble. Remember that game? That will be a blast.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember the music too.
Oh,
Bubble
so
Bobble's
good.
awesome.
And then for Zelda fans, there's The Legend of Zelda, and then Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
And The Adventure of Link is not a real Zelda game. It's just kind of a weird one that it was named something else.
Then
They threw up the Zelda title over the top.
Anyways,
of it.
great question, Casey Height. Thank you for sending that in. Last question comes for
Okay,
Connor.
how much is this? Do we know the price?
I know
$59, I think.
Is it $59? And then you do have to pay for. You can buy the controller separate if you want for a second one for $10.
This is funny. This is basically like a Raspberry Pi that they put
Yeah.
a Nintendo cover
That's
over.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm going to have it sitting right next to or on top of my...
Well, I love how
Original
it just,
Nintendo.
it's like a puppy. It just fits.
It's right in your hand.
Yeah.
It's a little puppy.
Last question comes from Connor
Poopies.
Rivera. He wants to know, how do I convince my wife that gaming doesn't mean I'm immature? It's just the way for me to relax. She's still not convinced. How does he convince his wife that gaming doesn't mean he's immature? It's just the way to relax. She's still not convinced. Jordan, what do you do?
Well, my wife reads a lot of books, and I just tell her it's just like
It's just
it's
an
my
interactive
version
book.
of reading a book, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody has their own. Like some people like to wood carve, some people like to walk, garden, right? Everybody has their own thing that they like to do as a
Sure.
hobby, right? Gaming's no different
Yeah,
from that.
absolutely.
I don't think you're any less of a person if you like to, fix cars for a hobby or if you like to play games for. I mean, it's just a hobby. It's a fun thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So and yeah, I mean, my wife for her hobby, she likes to read books a lot, and that's kind of my version of reading because I still get a story.
Yeah.
So it's that's her hobby.
I think a lot
It's
of it
hard-
lies
that's
in.
hard.
I think there is a stereotype. I think there's a stereotype, especially about gamers. I think that stereotype exists, especially with a lot of women who didn't necessarily grow up playing games. That maybe this is their first introduction to video games, and men too. That gamers are the 40-year-old man in their parents' basement, like the South Park episode,
Of
the dude
Warcraft
on
was hilarious.
Warcraft.
That was
That
hilarious.
is the stereotype gamer when people think gamers.
Yeah.
When in reality, nowadays everybody plays games. Everybody. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just another thing. My pet peeve is I could sit on the couch and watch sports all day long and not have one word said to me. The minute I pick up that controller, aren't you going to spend any time with me?
Good point.
That is my pet peeve. And then I explain, Tiffany, I have literally been sitting on the couch watching sports all day, not paying any attention to you. And the minute I pick up the controller, now it's like
Yeah, it's weird, right?
it's like a sound goes off in the wilderness that calls all
Yeah.
the wives to notice that you're picking up a controller. Anyways, advice. How do you convince a wife or anyone that gaming is
Well,
not immature?
With mine,
just a hobby.
It's finding the game that they like. Like, for example, my wife loves Mario Kart.
Okay.
And she loves 100% and is actually better than me at Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just finding that game that they like.
Yeah,
But, I mean, that can be hard.
my wife never always saw gaming as a little bit immature, something that boys do, little boys do, until she read the book Ready Player One, and then she says, "Now I understand." That opened her eyes. Now I understand how it's an art. I understand the language and terms that you're using.
I read that book as well. It's a little weird, but
I read that book as well.
She likes those types of books.
it's
Though.
a little...
McSpicy, advice. Give Connor some advice. How does he explain to his wife that gaming is not immature?
I mean, the argument that gaming is art is easily convincible because you look at the music, the actual artwork itself, the graphics, the storytelling. If you think about a good book, this is what when you have a video game that's good, you have a good book that or good movie.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good soundtrack. You have an immersible story where you can change the story as you play it, or you can learn about things, and you are way more immersed than thinking about it. Some of the greatest musicians of art right now are video game musicians.
Yeah.
I would argue
Yeah.
easily,
Yeah.
and that's where a lot of even I would say independent artists are going, so they can express themselves more fully. You can use. I mean, a video game is one of the greatest forms of art you can experience, in my opinion, because it's like everything that mankind has created up until this point in one big package.
It's the ultimate form of entertainment,
Yeah.
the ultimate medium.
And if you want to convince someone, get them to find a game that they like. I mean, my wife loves Peggle.
Yeah.
She really likes, what's that storytelling game that I haven't finished? Alan Wake.
Oh,
she
yeah.
enjoys Alan Wake.
is very good.
She
That
herself.
is it.
I mean, most women like mobile games.
I would also suggest showing her games with legit good stories that she would enjoy. For instance, my wife watched me play Inside. She was fascinated by it.
Until the ending, right?
My wife watched me play Child of Light. She loved that story, the artwork there. That's a good one. Show them the entry scene of Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes.
That would be a good one to show that, hey, this is a great story. This is telling a story about X, Y, or Z. Anyways, great question.
9 Mil has a really good one. His first comment there.
Go ahead. 9 Mil says, my wife realized it wasn't a hobby when we went on vacation, and I met up with people I played online with that lived in Florida. I'm from Texas. And she was amazed that there were normal people out there besides me that play games. We visit every time we go back there, too.
Yeah, just think about, doing this podcast. How many friends have we made?
That's
just
true.
games.
Troubadour in chat responding to this question, he says, I do everything she asks me to do until there are no more requests. Then I tell her, now that I've done as you commanded, I feel distressed by plague.
Well, and like that's funny.
That's
like
the way to
some
do it.
people. I've used this argument before. Some people use golf as a release. Some people use, people have a recreational outlet.
Yeah.
And gaming is actually relatively cheap if you compare it to, let's say, golf, which is $40 to $100 for 18 holes.
yeah.
Well, you can get how many hours out of a game for that
Sure.
price? So
Sure. He says that his wife just cares that women just care that you aren't putting gaming as a priority over other things they need to be help. They blah. Just make. Most people are concerned that they're not the priority. Gaming is. Just make them the priority, and then you'll be able to game.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. Balance.
Yeah.
Take care of your family, take care of yourself, and then enjoy yourself.
Positive gaming is all about balance. And the last question for today's discussion comes from Clark Hollingsworth. He wants to know tacos or seafood. Which one is better?
Seafood.
Tacos,
What
no
about
question.
What about a
'Cause
seafood
I like-
taco?
Oh, I
No.
like sushi, so I'm gonna go with seafood. I like sushi a lot.
I dislike sushi, and I love Mexican food, so I'm going to go with tacos.
Tacos are good. I too would have to go seafood because I love shrimp and lobster. A
Oh.
good lobster smothered in butter.
You guys haven't lived in South Texas. I can tell. They're like people die at a very early age at that point because the food is ridiculously amazing.
I'm sure it's really good. But seafood, there's a reason lobster is $50 a pop because it's worth $50
or
a pop.
because it's rare.
It's like gold.
Ish.
It's like gold in your mouth. If gold had a good taste,
I don't know.
it's gold.
There-
It's gold to my
Beef
tongue.
skirt with cilantro
Mexican sushi.
cooked in like freshly cut mesquite wood in an oil barrel that's been refitted for a smokestack. I'm telling you, they're tacos.
Baja California.
I'm not talking about Del Taco.
Baja
I'm
California.
talking about real tacos.
Baja California fish taco, taken straight from the ocean,
Skewered in the perfect spot.
slapped right inside a nice tortilla.
But see, there's not real. Well, never mind. I was gonna say something. No, I was gonna say there's fish. Okay, here's my problem with fish.
okay.
This is
See,
my problem with fish.
Seafood is a love-hate thing. People either love seafood or they just can't. They just don't like it.
And I like seafood.
And I
a
love
lot. Yeah, I
seafood.
do.
My problem with fish is when somebody says it's fishy, it tastes bad.
That is
See?
subjective,
No,
though.
those-
No,
because
but
I like
so
I
most-
like the fishy taste.
No, you do.
Those are
Yeah.
those are the peasants, though. That's a low quality
Because
fish.
hold
No,
on,
I
hold
mean,
on. Let me continue with this. When you have to make it taste like something it isn't, that's not a good food.
That goes again. The peasants. That fish is like a class food. Like if we're in a kingdom, we give the peasants the trout and all the crap, right? And then we eat the lobster and the swordfish,
Well, no,
and the
like-
shark. You know what I mean? Like fish is a class.
No, but see, like
it's-
sharks, you can have steak out of them. We're not, this is. I'm talking about like salmon.
because there is really really bad fish, and then there's really good.
like when
fish. You
when
know what
I'm
I mean?
like
There's low
when we
end
go
and
to a
high.
restaurant and someone gets fish and they're like, ooh, it's fishy, because it's a fish.
Well, but when you're saying, but that fishy is used to describe because when fish rot, they stink,
and they
that's used-
smell like fish.
Yeah, and that's they smell like rotten fish, and that's
Is there
usually
another way to smell fish?
what's used to describe that.
Okay, I like this. Ciro in chat says, so the correct answer is, due to the money involved, tacos are much better than seafood. Thank you.
But I would argue that due to the money involved, no one's going to pay $50 for a taco. People will gladly pay $50 for a lobster.
I'll be honest, there have been times in my life where I would have.
No doubt, tacos can be very good, but I think seafood is on an island of its own.
Yeah, an island I will never visit. I hate seafood. I do like shrimp.
Shrimp.
I do like shrimp, and I do like lobster. I'm not saying those are bad food. I just think Mexican food is just outstanding.
You preferred a taco.
Wait,
Wait,
look at this.
let's be
Hey,
specific.
okay,
Wait.
Look at the weight differences with us three.
Wait,
okay,
let's be.
Who likes food more? Whose opinion matters most?
Let's be specific though here.
Yeah.
You don't like Mexican food. You like Tex-Mex. That's a distinct difference there.
Well, I mean,
It's a certain genre of a specific
you
food.
mix the flavors of Texas and Mexico, and that is a.
Dude, I will say that I had the best macaroni and cheese that I have ever had in Texas. I didn't know macaroni and cheese could exist like that. I was blown away.
They know how to cook food. Okay, the best steak I've ever had in my life was made by a kid named John Wayne, and he was 14 years
His
old.
legit name was John Wayne?
His legit name was John Wayne, and he was 14 years old, and he lived in Texas when I was down there.
Nice.
14-year-old kid made the best steak I've ever made. You know what's funny? I saw him on American Idol. He tried out for
What?
American
Really?
Idol.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I know that kid. If you ever saw John Wayne on American Idol, how's it going, John Wayne? Love you, man. Yeah, I hope he listens to this show. He made the best steak I've ever had in my life.
I think it's like the feeling of seafood too, because when you're at a party mingling and someone brings
Someone's
you like
like,
a shrimp cocktail,
"Here's
you're
some
kind
hors
of like,
d'oeuvres."
Okay, yeah,
You know?
that's called a snobby party. If I'm at a party
see,
and
that's-
someone brings me a freaking amazing taco, I'm like, this is a place I can kick back
but
and relax.
that shrimp is amazing too, and I like to feel high class.
Not me.
Jordan loves the
'Cause I am.
snob factor.
I do. I
The
do.
snob factor involved in his
I want to
eating.
be a snob one day. That's my goal in life. To make that much money and be able
man.
to.
That's enough, the both of you.
Thank you, everyone, for sending your question. That sound means it's time to get to the last portion of our show, the portion in which we discuss what we played this week. I will go first. I played nothing. I moved.
Yeah, he moved.
So I played nothing. I'm really looking forward to this upcoming week to getting back in and playing actually some Red Dead Redemption. Jordan, what did you play this week?
I jumped into a few things. I jumped into a lot of games just to get back in them and see what they were up to. I jumped into Diablo to see where that was. I jumped into
You jumped into Diablo.
Overwatch. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just for like an hour. It wasn't anything big, just to kind of see
How
what
was
was
it?
going on. It's good. They added a couple new areas to the left. You know,
On your screen, go
there's,
left.
There's two staircases.
So
if
when
you
you
go,
load the game, just go left, and there's a new area.
No, it's the staircase. Anyway, it's from a while ago. It's nothing new, but it's from one of their earlier patches. Then we jumped into Overwatch, Halo, and Resident Evil 5 yesterday.
How close are you to Resident Evil 5 beating it?
Oh, we're on the worst chapter.
65% is we're in the temple, and we've been in a temple like an old
Yeah,
Egyptian
chapter
temple
4
for
is
like
the
ever.
worst chapter.
Well, you say worse. I'm having a ball.
I hate puzzles.
I love puzzles.
And I hate those puzzles. Like, they were just anyway. But anyway, it's a ton of fun. The games I played the most, I jumped into The Witcher because I want to slowly beat
so
the
you are playing The Witcher.
beat the expansions. And then the two games I played the most is DC Universe Online.
Okay.
I jumped into that just to level the characters. And a game I got back into and was playing all day today, and I'm going to continue to play later tonight, Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, and I would like, what got you back into it? How is it being
Well,
back in?
they
Are
changed-
the changes good?
Yeah, they got rid of veteran rank. It's essentially, I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of the same thing. You have champion points.
Sure.
And then now, instead of veteran rank, which you had champion points before, but now it's just one big champion point. Those are so much better than the veteran rank because I don't feel like you consistently get those more and more, and you can take those points and put that. It just to me
It works better.
It works
Now, how does
better. It
how does
feels
it feel? How's the gameplay? What'd you do in Elder Scrolls Online?
So I got the Dark Brotherhood, but I want to finish the other expansions before I do the Dark Brotherhood first.
Oh, okay.
So, and just to level up a little bit. But the thing with Elder Scrolls is, so I was coming from, I compare every online game to Warcraft, which I shouldn't do because Warcraft is Warcraft.
Sure.
And if, games are trying to do different things, and I appreciate that, I finally clicked with Elder Scrolls. I was like, oh, they do it this way.
What
that
clicked?
makes sense. Well, just like, I mean, they have raids and stuff, but just the, all their crafting and just what you do in the game.
Yeah.
Like it's not like World of Warcraft where you hurry up and max level, get the gear, do the raid, get the gear, do the raid. You know what I mean?
So are you back in this game
So
for a
now-
while? Did it re-hook you?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I actually I need your help in the Imperial City. That's addicting.
I'm
Imperial
well, I
City-
remember we tried it before we were veteran rank and we couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So now you can do something, and I can hold my own. Well, not against other players because you're still way higher
Sure.
than me. But I can hold my own against NPCs, and I can't really take on. I can take on a group of them, but I can't take on a group of them and then like an elite. That's where I need someone else.
Yeah.
So, and it's addicting to get those Tolvar stones, and then the thrill of losing them at any moment.
Oh yeah,
because
you
you
have to
lose them
bring
when
them
you
back,
die.
yeah.
You get to bring them back to the bank. And then just getting the new gear sets, it just kind of it's all making sense.
It's all
to
meshing
me.
for you
Yeah.
right now.
So
It's
and
all
it's a lot
jiving.
of fun.
Nice.
So, and it's
Perhaps I'll jump in this week with you then.
yeah. It's
I wish
it's
I
a
could
lot.
join it. I feel like I'm
You should.
so
I-
far
you
behind.
know, I'll-
Well, now we can level down dungeons and areas, right?
No, I thought that was later.
Oh, it's not out yet?
Tamriel. You should still jump into it. I mean, I don't mind running another
yeah,
character
but
with you.
I my whole life I have hated inconveniencing people.
But that's not because I have another character that's at your level, ready to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a Dragon Knight.
Oh, I'm racist against Dragon Knights.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't do it then.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But no, I mean it's fun. We can. I do.
Just
feel
kidding. I will play with your Dragon Knight. I don't even know what that means.
The queues for the Dungeon Finder. I still am not the biggest fan of their Dungeons Finder, but the queues are really long for the Dungeon Finder, but they're working. So like
Okay.
I was queued for about an hour and a half today while I was questing. So I mean that's usually what the Dungeon Finder is,
Yeah.
especially if you're DPS. You're usually in there for quite a while. But I was queuing for the Dungeon Finder, questing around for an hour, and then it popped. I got in with a group of guys. I did have my mic, and so did a couple others. So we were talking and just going through it. I will admit their dungeons are fun. They do have fun dungeons, but it was just a good time. So yeah, I have a Dragon Knight that I can level.
All right,
with
that's
you.
good to know. Maybe I'll reinstall the game.
Yeah.
The most hipster comment just got made in chat, and I would like to call it out. Ciro Mito is in chat, and they're talking about achievements. This is why you should come to the live stream of chat, because you get to interact here. And Ciro Mito said, I've had an Xbox since day one of the OG Xbox. Achievements just seem so meaningless. That is such a hipster comment. I don't watch mainstream media. Xbox achievements, they're just so meaningless. They're beneath me. I play the game in its purest form. I don't need those Xbox achievements.
I gotta tell you, achievements are awesome for me.
That just,
Is it a crazy idea that someone likes something that you don't like?
I just thought that was funny. That's such a hipster comment. Thanks for being our resident hipster, Ciro Mito. McSpicy, what did you play this week?
I played. Let's start out. I played Battlefront.
Oh,
Yeah, the Star Wars
Oh
Battlefront.
wow!
How did that
You should
go?
have messaged me. I would have jumped in with you.
Well, I was playing with my nephew.
you're
yeah, don't
you're-
message me when you're playing with
Yeah.
me.
No, I had my nephew stay at my house for a couple of days, and that's what he wanted to play. So I reinstalled the game, and we were doing the co-op missions that I did not even know existed.
Oh, wow.
And they were fun. Just kind of like a mini horde mode, and you can increase the difficulty.
Oh, me and Jono did those
Like
first.
like a not unlimited horde mode,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah, you have like 13.
Yeah, those
rounds,
are really
15
fun.
rounds.
I did those in the beta, actually. No, wait.
That shows how much I played
did it
this game.
Day one when it released. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, I really enjoyed that. I also played some Overwatch. I sucked at it with Jordan. We talked about that. We played Resident Evil. Talked about that. Played Halo 5 Guardians. Besides that, I played Red Dead Redemption and I streamed it, and I plan on streaming it until I beat the game. That's the goal. So I'm not playing that game without anyone because I think chat really appreciates that game, and we're putting those on YouTube as well.
Second time through this game. How is it treating you the second time?
Now
that you're, a couple hours into it?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I have not played this game since it was released, so I have forgotten the story. I have forgotten everything. There's some parts that I sort of remember, but it's like a new game for me. And I know that someone in YouTube was saying that he doesn't like long
Loading screens?
no,
Or cutscenes?
long cutscenes. And I sort of don't like long cutscenes, but there's something about these cutscenes. The story is deep, and
Yeah.
this game has the best voice acting I have ever had in any game.
Speaking of cutscenes, what I find so refreshing about the way Rockstar does Red Dead Redemption, what I really like is the cutscenes are never, they don't go out of game and do these like CGI cutscenes. They're in-game cutscenes.
Yeah.
So like that first scene when you walk off the train,
Yeah.
it's from the cutscenes. It's all one shot.
Yeah, it's super immersive. The overlay, like the HUD, is very minimal. It's just a map in the corner.
So when you play a great game and you have great memories about a game, you always remember the way it made you feel. Sometimes when you go back to that game, you're like, oh, now that time
Like
has
GoldenEye?
passed, and things have improved, it's not what I remember it being. Is that the case with Red Dead?
No, this game holds up. Right. I had countless people in chat wondering if they up the quality of the game
Sure.
for their the backwards compatible release. They did not. It just the animations make the graphics look amazing. They nailed animations in this game. The horses, like we've always talked about.
Yeah.
Man, the game is so good. I was just testing a stream 2 nights ago, and I already mentioned this, but I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to go over and cow tip. And I spent 30 minutes cow tipping, and it was super fun,
Yeah.
super enjoyable. I was roping them down. Then they would get mad and run me over. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The game's fantastic.
Anything else you played this week?
A little bit of Far Cry Primal, but Red Dead and streaming have kind of taken over the time that I have had to play games.
Awesome.
I love how chat N1 Mil says
9 mil.
9 mil.
Thanks, guys. That's 9 mil. Oh my
You're
gosh,
welcome.
my brain just broke. He's like, says the seafood snob
Which
when we're talking about the hipster comment.
comments. The most hipster of all, seafood is just so
I know,
much better
and Jordan.
than regular food.
Hey, I don't want to be. I
I'll
don't want to
admit
be.
it, I'm a seafood snob. Like I said, my goal in
no,
life
no,
is to become a
no,
snob.
no. But
you
I think
know?
what makes
That's-
something hipster is that you state something, and you're coming at it from a holier than thou
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
perspective, but you're like I'm the people. Like I don't watch. That television is too mainstream for me.
Are we gonna get on a hipster rant? Because I want to.
You like soccer? My soccer hipster rant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? After you made that comment, I realized
You've
that
noticed it
they've-
now, huh?
They took away motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the skinny jeans and it's just like, oh, they did motorcycles and soccer. That was all I had in life besides video games.
And now barbershops, they're taking over barbershops.
They are.
Hipsters are like, I go to a barber. I'm like, well, so do I. I go because they give me a good haircut. Why do you go? Because it's cool.
because they're out of fashion.
Because they're not mainstream. Anyways, with that has been our show. Don't forget to come join us. Check out our streams. Check out our YouTube channel. Check us out anywhere you can find us. Next week, we'll be Facebook live streaming simultaneously. Mr. McSpicy, where can people find you? What will you be up to this week?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. McSpicy. My gamer tag on Xbox Live is Mr. McSpicy.
Nice.
And I will be playing Red Dead the entire week, I think.
Awesome. Everybody, yes, feel free to add us. I have to catch up on my additions on Xbox Live. We will add you back if you choose to add us as a friend. It's great. It's just nice to keep in contact, makes contacting us easier. We can see what we're all playing. You can see what's in our feeds and all of that junk.
Yeah,
Jordan,
cool.
what about you?
You can find me at Jordan the Max. He'll be everywhere. I'll probably be playing Elder Scrolls in DC Universe.
Oh, very nice.
Getting the MMO.
No, yeah, just
MMO crave out of your system?
yeah. Well, me and Mark were talking about it last night. It's kind of that calm before the storm, so you better catch up on all your games before.
For the big games hit.
For
I
the
am
hell hits, yeah.
XoneBros everywhere. Check me out on Instagram. I'm there a lot. On Twitter, of course. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, like I said. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have another great week. Remember, gaming is positive. Let's keep it positive. We'll see you guys in the forums. See you later.